Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you will be fine and enjoying good health. Okay, today we are here with the topic of Victorian age. That was from 1832 to 1900. There is a two major difference among the title and the dates. The Victorian age actually refers to the Queen Victoria, that who was became queen in 1837 to 1901. But the age, Victorian age, if they are talking about in literature, the Victorian age of English literature belongs from 1832 to 1900. And why and how it was started, there are the different reasons we will discuss later. So here in front of you, you may see that the Victorian age in English literature began in the second quarter of 19th century. Second quarter means 1830, from 1832 to 1900. But here in front of you, please keep in your mind the reign of the Queen Victoria was started from 1837, not from 1832. So it's mean there are different reason of starting this age from 1832. But the title, the on the name of Queen Victoria is given because of the fame or the important event that happened in the same duration. So therefore, we have kept the name of the Victorian age upon the name of Queen Victoria, but actually it was started before when she became queen. From the year 1798, the publication of lyrical ballad till the year 1820, yes, they are talking about here the romanticism. That the romanticism was started from 1798, as you know earlier, that with the publication of lyrical ballad, that was a combined mutual work of William Wordsworth, Coleridge, and the third one, Southey, until the year 1820. So what happened in 1820? Here in the 1820, you may analyze that with the death of different uh, poet poet of the young generation. Uh, so we can conclude that it ended with the death of the younger poets, and it started with the publication of lyrical ballads. The romanticism in the England, after that, the year there was a sudden decline. Sudden decline, they are talking about the romantic age. Okay, what happened to romantic poets then? Please keep in your mind that the younger poets, the poets of second generation, in which Keats, Lord Byron, and Shelley, they died in 1820, 1822, and 1824. But the Wordsworth and Coleridge, they were still alive. Wordsworth did his last work in 1815 with the name of the White Dwarf Rollston, but the worth and the value of that work was not of high importance. We may say that the social and due to the social and political reforms that he has seen in at the revolutionary time of the French Revolution, in the early period of the Romantic age, it was now going to be demolished. Next one is the Coleridge wrote no poem of merit after 1817. Yes, he was still alive, but he couldn't produce any work of the high standard. So here we can say the decline of romantic poets in 1820, and now we can easily conclude that the 1820, the death year of Keats, and we can say that Scott was still writing after 1820. The same reason, the Scott was also like the William Wordsworth and Coleridge, but they have ended with the reference age of the Keats. Political background is so much important, that what actually happened in 1832 and what happened from the literary point of view. But here we are not talking about literature right now, we are talking about the political background. In 1832, you may see that the first Reform Act was passed. And what happened in the first Reform Act? The act was actually giving the importance and the authority to the middle class also. And here they are saying that the middle class people were also according to having the equal rights as the high status people. As we know, in the French Revolution, what happened that the monarchy system was ended, and later on, the people, the individuals, the poor people, the middle class, they get raised for their rights. So here in this act that was passed in 1832, as you may also refer with the Victorian age start from 1832. So political background was that the people were aware with the changes that were been going to be over there from 1832, and what happened after this when the poor people and the middle class people, they raised their rights, and they were having their own rights, and they they were started to get change their status according to their surrounding. What happened that the agricultural and manufactural country, the progress was there made by the middle class. Next on, they also started to work individually, as well as before this one they were doing on agriculture, but later on they work industrial towards the industries. Science were also making different, you may say, the inventions in the same time period. Next, you may say that the first Reform Act of 1832, but later on the repeal of Corn Law in 1846. This is again from the agriculture point of view and talking about the poor people. And here they were having the immense advantage to manufacturing interest, and second Reform Act of 1867. Mean first one 1832, and between this one there is another corn law which were in 1846, and second reform act was passed in 1867. So in the field of literature, as now we are going to make connection with this one, that 1820 to 1832 were the singularly barren. I mean there is no much high work was produced. Okay, now the important one, how the Victorian age started and why it was said with the having the importance 1832, the importance in literature. For as political background, we came to know about the Reform Act, with the pass of Reform Act, but in literature we can understand that with the publication of someone important person, yes, here Alfred Tennyson in front of you, that with the publication of poems, his first volume of poem when published in 1832, it was related with the uh, new age of literature, that is Victorian age. And the following year, the Carlyle Sartre was also, and the Dickens work were also published. Sketches by Boz, the literary career of the Thackeray. In 1837, the Browning published his dramatic lyrics in 1842, and later on we can officially said it starts from 1832, and though the Romantic period ended in 1820, yes, we know earlier that the Romantic age was ended in 1820, and this one started from 1832. Okay, we have categorized into two periods, early and later, due to its long duration. First one is this, you may say that the early Victorian, and second one is the later Victorian period. And what happened to them, that we can say that the for the sake of convenience we have divided into two periods, because there were so many poets and the prose writers and the dramatists, they work over here, therefore we can say that it is easy to divide them. So earlier period was a period of middle class supremacy, of free trade, as I am again interrelating with the Reform Act that was passed in 1832. There was the time of the middle class supremacy in all the areas. Therefore, that was the time that they get progressed in all the different areas of the life. Okay, the great writers of the early Victorian. And the first one is the Alfred Tennyson, Browning, Matthew Arnold, Carlyle, Ruskin, Dickens, and Thackeray. They are the few ones who were. Yes, there are a lot of different writers, but we cannot include each and every one. All these poets are novelists and prose writers, and a certain homogeneous group mean they were having the same Victorian period, having the same taste and the same categories. Yeah. And next one, the approach to the contemporary problems or the same literary, moral, and social values of that time in which that act was passed, and there were different political and social movements were arose, and they started to bring change. Okay, next one is the later Victorian period, in which we have the Rossetti, Swinburne, Morris, George Eliot, Marriott, Hardy, Newman, Pater, and in the field of novel, yes, it happened. New one that the George Eliot was known as the pioneer of the psychological novel. Yes, we know about the Charles Dickens, who did work in the early Victorian, but in the later Victorian period, a new style was given to the novel that was psychological period. Aesthetic and pre-Raphaelite movement was also led by different poets in the second, in the later Victorian period. And next one, we may say that a clear demarcation between two periods. But what the difference among these two periods? Yes, if we see the style, and we can see the theme, and we can see the characterization, and the different having the two flexibilities, that romanticism and the classicism, and they were totally changed in the first one and second one. We miss easily that the style is totally different. Yes, the first one, we can say the characterization. The characteristic is also there. The first one is they are saying that the children of new age of democracy, they are talking about early, of individualism, rapid industrial development, material expression, the age of doubt and pessimism, and this is all comes in the name of evolution that comes in the early and later Victorian period both with the formulation of science, technology, and new research. Men and women of marked originality mean, yes, as the Queen Victoria was female and feminism was a dominant character of characterization of characteristic of that time, in which the family life, the domestic life was more preferable than the and the rights of women were also preserved. And next one, we can say that the third point, that the rational understanding of given to both men and women, and we can also say that the great writers of Victorian age were actuated by a definite moral purpose. Yes, Queen Victoria actually uh, emphasized on the morality of in that time, and all the writers are persisted to write down each and everything according to the moral. But actually, the morality was more preferred in the early Victorian rather than the later one. Okay, now I'm going to conclude this one by telling you that the opposing element in both ages, classicism and romanticism, we can say that they were more inclined towards the classicism, as they are going to approach the problems of life, search for balance, stability, and a deeply moral attitude. But later on, we can say that with the death of the premature death of Byron, Shelley, and Keats, there was sudden change, and then they were changed from the classicism to the romanticism. I mean, there is a, I want to say that again, there is a mixture. They are saying that both were inclined towards classicism, actually, as they are talking about the moral attitude, but actually, they were also having, on the deep level, they were also having the spirit of romanticism because of the previous age, the impact of the romantic age. Okay, dear students, this is all from my side. Thank you. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.